Demon Slayer is one of the most popular anime and manga series in the past few years, and the creator didn't hold back when it came to killing main characters. So here's every Hashira death in Demon Slayer. At number 1, we have Kyojiro Rengoku. Kyojiro died in the Mugen Train arc after the team surprisingly met with upper rank 3 Akaza. After they exchanged blows, and the upper rank offered to turn him into a demon multiple times, Rengoku understood that Akaza clearly had the upper hand in that fight. Kyojiro turns back to face Akaza, smiling and saying that he'll fulfill his duties before beginning to ready another attack. Impressed, Akaza compliments his fighting spirit and technique, and laughs as he says that Kyojiro really should have chosen to become a demon, asking the Hashira to fight with him for all eternity. The two clash again. Rengoku uses his flame-breathing 9th form. After the clash, the dust disperses to reveal that Akaza has stuck his arm through Kyojiro's stomach. Akaza screams at him that he's going to die, and asks Kyojiro one more time to become a demon. After Kyojiro has a short flashback to his past, he summons an immense amount of strength to try and pin Akaza in place, while trying to decapitate him simultaneously. Akaza is incredibly impressed by Kyojiro's strength, and then looks behind Kyojiro and begins to panic as he realizes that the sun is about to come up. Akaza quickly tries to free himself from Kyojiro's hold, but the Hashira holds on tightly, not letting him escape. Just as Inosuke tries to pierce Akaza, he manages to pull himself away from Kyojiro by severing both of his arms in the process. The upper rank quickly jumps backwards, both of his arms now severed, and runs into the forest beside where they'd been fighting, leaving Kyojiro to fall onto his knees, defeated. Kyojiro tells Tanjiro to live with his head held high, and that he shouldn't worry about him dying there, since it's only natural for a Hashira to give his life protecting his junior. He looks to Tanjiro, then to Inosuke, and then to Zenitsu, and says that he believes in them, and that he thinks they'll become the next generation of Hashira of the Demon Slayer Corps. The Flame Hashira then sees the spirit of his mother in front of him, and asks her if he did well, to which she replies that he did a wonderful job. As the last seconds of his life slip away, Kyojiro smiles. At number 2, we have Shinobu Kocho. Shinobu died in the Infinity Castle arc in a rather unique way compared to the other Hashira. She knew she wasn't strong enough to kill an upper rank, let alone Doma, who was the upper rank 2 at the time of their fight, so she had a different strategy in mind. After a short altercation in which Shinobu managed to confuse Doma, she strikes him directly through his neck, impaling him and sending him flying towards the ceiling. Exhausted and wounded, Shinobu feels triumphant upon seeing Doma being poisoned and seemingly dying from her attack. However, Doma recovers almost instantly from her attack, and Shinobu is further enraged. Now exhausted, fatally injured, and dangerously near death, Shinobu is caught by Doma as he falls down from the ceiling. He embraces her in a bear hug, and begins mocking her and calling her entire attempt to defeat him a waste of effort, assuring her that she'll live peacefully as a part of him, and mockingly asking her for her last words. She spitefully curses him as he begins to kill her. In the end, she's absorbed by the upper rank, just as her disciple Kanao Tsuyuri arrives at the scene. But just before her death, she manages to signal to Tsuguko with her hand. Her death causes Kanao to go berserk in order to try and save her, only to be repelled by an irritated Doma, who tells her not to interfere when he's in the middle of absorbing someone. He successfully absorbs Shinobu's body until her butterfly-shaped hairpiece is the only thing left. Soon, however, it's revealed that Shinobu had been consuming a poison for a year, with which she hoped that the poison would either kill Doma or leave him so weak that he could be killed in case she was devoured by the demon. The strategy worked, and her student Kanao, together with Inosuke Hashibira, are in charge of killing Doma, who is now poisoned, avenging her death in this way. At number 3, we have Muichiro Tokido. Muichiro died in the Infinity Castle arc while fighting upper rank 1 Kokushibo. At the beginning of the arc, Muichiro is separated by Gyomehimejima by upper rank 4 Nakeme's Blood Demon art, in which she manipulates a large column of the Infinity Castle and warps an opening to where Muichiro is teleported and where another upper rank is residing. As Muichiro is getting back up, he sees a petrifying six-eyed figure in front of him with a purple and black hexagonal patterned kimono and a long sword. The upper rank asks the Hashira his name, which he stutters out loud. Kokushibo finds out that the Tsugikuni name has died out and is no more. This perplexes Muichiro, as he's never heard the name Tsugikuni once, and asks the upper rank what Tsugikuni is. Because of the hundreds of years passing, Kokushibo knew that it was inevitable for his family name to die out, in which he says out loud to be Michikatsu Tsugikuni. He also states that he's a descendant of one of his children, thus making him his literal offspring. This greatly horrifies Muichiro to know that he's related in blood to an upper rank. He questions if Kokushibo is a user of the sun-breathing style, the first breathing style. However, Muichiro attempts to calm himself down with his breathing, which makes Kokushibo praise his mentality. Muichiro quickly dashes towards the upper rank, and the battle begins. Kokushibo then begins to defeat Muichiro pretty easily, cutting his arm and spearing him with his own sword to a nearby pole. But Kokushibo doesn't kill him. He offers Muichiro to become a demon because Muzan might find him useful, and because he admires his talent and skills, and says that if Muzan doesn't accept him becoming a demon, death was his destiny all along. After Sanemi and Gyomehimejima appear and battle Kokushibo together with Genya, Muichiro wanted to be as helpful as he could, eventually pinning Kokushibo in place with his Nichiren blade, which had become red in his last effort to cause damage to the upper rank 1. After a flashback to Kokushibo's past, in which he remembers his loss by the hand of his younger brother, Kokushibo roars at the absolute top of his lungs in anger and frustration. As he roars, dozens of chaotic slashes release from his body, cleanly severing the lower half of Muichiro's body, guaranteeing his death along with cutting Genya in half vertically. After Kokushibo is defeated, Gyomehimejima closes Muichiro's eyes and vows to complete their mission to defeat Muzan. At number 4, we have Mitsuri Kanroji. Mitsuri died during the Sunrise Countdown arc, in which she suffered a lot of damage from the fight with Muzan. However, she got the worst of the Hashira, only being able to dodge purely by instinct and luck alone. This deeply impacts her resolve to be able to help her fellow Hashira defeat Muzan. So, she quickly plans to try to get behind the ladder and twist his arms behind his back in order to stall time, and help the others gain some hits on the Demon Lord, even if it means sacrificing her life to do so. While she evaluates her plan, she quickly realizes that she's getting pulled in by one of Muzan's attacks that has the appearance of a cyclone. But it's too late. The attack ruptures her tissue, flesh, and skin off her left side, including her arm, abdomen, and cheek. After a very long fight, the Demon King tries to slash and stab Tanjiro with his arm tentacles and tendrils, but his left arm gets grabbed by Mitsuri Kanroji. Shedding tears, she yells at Muzan to cut it out and rips his arm clean off, sacrificing both of her own arms in the process. Mitsuri was found dead after the fight. The exact circumstances were not revealed, but it's likely due to the loss of blood. At number 5, we have Gyomehimejima. Similar to Mitsuri, Gyomehimejima also died at the last fight against Muzan, during which he was ultimately killed. He lost a leg, and his chained weapon started to break while he was trying to hold Muzan in his infant form from escaping. The exact circumstances of his death were not revealed, as it was just discovered after the battle, just like the death of the other Hashira that perished in this final battle. At number 6, we have Obani Iguro. During the Sunrise Countdown arc, we see Obani rescue Mitsuri, after which he quickly sprints back into the battlefield. Mitsuri bursts into tears and begs Obani not to die, and neither should anyone else. However, as Mitsuri bawls, Obani accepts to himself that he must die defeating Muzan in order to cleanse his own blood, in order to reincarnate as an innocent being with the reincarnation of Mitsuri by his side. His bandages fall off, revealing serpent-like slits across his entire cheeks. Obani wants Mitsuri to know that he's a man from a distasteful family who's murdered people to take advantage of others for their own sake. After succeeding in making his blade bright red and causing some damage to Muzan, Obani loses both of his eyes and eventually dies. Like Mitsuri and Gyomehimejima, we don't know the exact reason, but we do know that he gave it his all. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.